So after Shelley and I finished photographing the Cypress Tunnel at Point Reyes National Seashore, we headed on down California 1 to the Golden Gate National Recreation Area and our final destination, San Francisco. Once Shelley and I got down to the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, we went to the visitor center. That's our natural course of action when we go to a new national park or recreation area. Found out that the Point Bonita Lighthouse was open that day, and it was open until 3:30. And it wouldn't be open again until the next Sunday. So we ventured on out there. By the time we got out to the Point Bonita Lighthouse, we had 15 minutes to find a composition, set up the tripod, get everything good to go, and get a photograph. Quite insane. So my intent here was to get a wide angle photograph of the lighthouse, hopefully with as many people removed from it in the shot as possible. So in addition to that, I also wanted to slow down the clouds and get that nice motion blur that I love when you're shooting kind of at the wrong time of day. I mean, 3:30 is not bad, but or 3:15, yeah, because we got kicked out at 3:30 sharp by the volunteers. So I slapped on my 10-stop neutral density filter and my circular polarizer, and I cranked the f-stop to f22. That gave me that gorgeous blur of the clouds in the sky, and it also removed all but 2 people from this photograph. On our way walking back to the car, Shelley and I decided that we wanted to try to find a photograph of the Golden Gate Bridge from the north side of the bridge down near the water. So we went in search of that composition. We found it down on Moore Road. Here I shot at ISO 50. Yeah, crazy. Did a bracketed shot with an aperture of f22. That allowed me to get more detail in the sky without getting a lot of noise. It also allowed me to get a little bit more drama in the sky as well. After finishing up at Moore Road and with the Golden Gate Bridge, we crossed over the bridge, headed to where we were staying for the night, and then the next morning we got up and headed up to Twin Peaks because I knew there was a couple compositions from Twin Peaks that I really wanted in advance. One is I was looking to do an ultra-wide pano from the Golden Gate past the Bay Bridge in shot. That one, I had some issues with parallax not working exactly right. I think I'd actually need a pano head on my tripod to capture all the rows and images to make that panoramic work great. I still love the challenge of doing it, don't get me wrong. If you don't try, you're not learning, for one. And as some other photographers and YouTubers say, if you're not in it to win it, you're not gonna win it, right? Okay, so when you're on location and you got an idea, go ahead and take it. You never know what's gonna happen. So the one composition that I knew I definitely wanted, I knew I could pull off because I had my 70 to 300 millimeter lens on, was a shot straight down Market Street into the heart of downtown San Francisco. With the sky being as overcast as it was that day, There was a little bit too much drama in the sky, so I didn't do any filters. I did shoot bracketed to see if I could get some detail and a little bit more contrast in areas of the image that I wanted. So here's my shot looking down Market Street straight into the heart of San Francisco from Twin Peaks. So for the next location that day, we went to a place that I've always wanted to photograph since the first time I saw it. That's the Palace of the Fine Arts in San Francisco. It was completed in 1915 for the Panama Pacific Exposition to celebrate the completion of the Panama Canal. It's one of the few remaining structures from that exposition. It's one of my favorite places in San Francisco to photograph. There's so many unique compositions with the architecture and also with the lagoons that are around the palace. Composition number one at the Palace of Fine Arts was Beneath the Dome. This is a series that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. Anytime that I go to a location that has a dome, what I want to do is I want to get down low, focus up towards the dome, and it's quite interesting because people look at you like you're crazy when you lay down underneath a tripod focused up at the underside of a dome. So here's my first in the series of Beneath the Dome, Palace of the Fine Arts. So for my next composition at the Palace of the Fine Arts, I wanted that silky smooth water reflecting the Palace of the Fine Arts in it and all the great architectural detail. So in order to achieve this, I slapped on my circular polarizer and my 10-stop neutral density filter. This is my reflections of the Palace of the Fine Arts. So what trip to San Francisco would not be complete without seeing the Painted Ladies? That's right, that's our next composition. For this, we sought out the row houses known as the Painted Ladies in San Francisco. There are a few missing. Apparently there was a fire a few years ago. So it's not as long a row as it used to be, but you can still get some cool compositions of these gorgeous old houses painted up. For this composition, I decided to do panoramic so I could get the majority of the houses and the detail of the houses. And the sky was really overcast yet again that day, so there wasn't much to be seen in it. I did bracket in hopes of trying to get some individual cloud layers that would give me some better detail instead of a blown out sky. But like I've said in the past, when you're traveling and you're doing photography and you've got deadlines, you get what you get. I'm still happy with this panoramic of the Painted Ladies that I took. So while walking around the square there by the Painted Ladies, we happened upon the William Westerfield house, which is just one of those happy little accidents that sometimes you find when you're out on location. Okay, from the video and the photograph you're about to see, I probably don't even have to tell you the name of this street. It's one of the most famous streets in the world, at least in the United States. This is Lombard Street, that goofy street that does this down the hillside. Yes, we drove it. Yes, I photographed it. The photograph I went through before was an ultra-wide lens doing a panoramic image to accentuate the curves of this street. This brings us to our final composition. I'm so sad. This is the last one of the Pacific Northwest Coast Road Trip, and the last one in San Francisco. It's the Coit Tower. The cool thing about this composition is I actually captured a sundog around the tower. Awesome shot. What a way to end the trip. Thank you for joining Shelley and I as we did our journey from Seattle to San Francisco along the Pacific Northwest coast. It's been a blast. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe button, ding the bell for future notifications. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Also share it on any social media. We'd love to have more people see it. You can always go back and view more episodes. The link to the playlist is down below, and this whole series is one playlist. I'm looking forward to sharing our next journey with you, which is going to be in Arizona. I haven't figured out yet the title yet, but I'm just going through the photographs and the video that we did on location, which is kind of cool because there'll be less of this here and more of me out in the field talking to you guys about the photography and sharing the experience. So why don't you come along, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and like this video, and we'll see you, actually I've got a couple more videos coming up that kind of recap some top 5 type, top 10 type stuff coming up. That's going to be more of a recap of the whole series. But stay tuned for that, and then stay tuned for the Arizona series, which should be airing in January. I hope.